American Electric Power is the largest coal-powered electricity producer in the country. They supply power to 11 states. And last week in their earnings report, the company did acknowledge that net income fell by about 4%, partly because of health care costs. Michael Morris, AEP Chairman, President, and CEO, is with us. We want to talk to you about a number of things, but given what the President just said, I wanted to ask you your perspective here. This $5 billion fund that companies will be able to tap into June 1st, what does that do for you, considering that, what was it, $21 million you said that the health care legislation is going to cost your company?
Well, I think you saw a number of organizations, because of the accounting rules, take the impact of the Subpart D retiree health care benefits, which used to be a tax credit, now simply being taxed as a source of income to the company. So our company, like others, AT&T probably leading the league with $1 billion financial impact. For us,
Caterpillar also saying it's going to be a tremendous cost for them.
For us as a regulated utility, the actual cost was about $56 million, but we believe that in the regulated environments we'll be able to recover some of those costs. The health care program, there are many things that needed to be done, but to believe that it's going to save trillions of dollars over some period of time is a real stretch of everyone's imagination. As you know, that requires some substantial cuts in future Medicare, Medicaid expenditures, which I've been around this for a long, long time. Congress, that's not one of their strong suits, cutting costs, and I don't know that they'll be good at that when they have to do that down the road.
And AEP has to cut costs. You acknowledge that in the recent earnings call. Does this $5 billion, fund change any of that? Will you have to cut less?
Well, to the extent that we're able to take advantage of that program, and some companies can and some companies can't. The rules are yet to be written, and it isn't as clear. And $5 billion spread across corporate America won't go very deep, and it surely won't go very far.
Give me a sense right now of what you're seeing on your customer base. 11 states you do business in here in this country. We're hearing on the consumer spending front that American consumers are starting to go out to their cash registers. They're feeling a little bit better about their ability to spend. Why aren't you seeing a pickup in use of electricity?
It's interesting. I was encouraged by some of the data that shows the American consumer is coming back strongly, and I hope that to be the case. Our business, of course, is a reflection of energy demand in the industrial, commercial, and residential space. Our residential sales were strong and really driven by weather, as they almost always are. Industrial sales are off because the aluminum manufacturers are not yet back at full production here in the country. Steel folks are, as you saw the information this morning on steel demand, which is up across the board, and we supply a number of major Midwest steel players. But in the commercial marketplace, the small business owner is absolutely uncertain about what all these changes mean. So restaurants aren't open as long as they used to be, and many small businesses, unfortunately, going out of business. So you go by a strip mall in anywhere America, the 11 states that we serve, probably more in the Middle West than out West, but you're seeing a lot of dark buildings.
Demand in the Middle West of this country is still not picking up.
Yeah, and I think the Fed statistics showed just the other day that Middle America is still struggling some. Our load out West in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma was up considerably year over year. So
the recession's not over there.
Well, much of it being driven by energy and energy development, as you know. Gas prospecting, gas shale play is a substantial add to the economies in states like Texas and Oklahoma. Developing resources throughout that area has been very strong.
Now, talk to me a little bit about coal right now. There's tremendous scrutiny, particularly in the wake of the disaster that took place in West Virginia a few weeks back. Not your company having nothing to do there, but certainly heightening the scrutiny in Washington of the coal industry. What does that mean for you right now? How much of a headline risk is there?
Well, I think it's important. We're the largest coal-burning utility in the United States. We buy from Massey Energy. We expect all of our suppliers to live within every requirement and every restriction, every permit commitment that they have made, and I expect that they were doing that. The events in West Virginia, where we're one of the major electric suppliers, were very, very sad. One of our employees lost his twin brother in that event. That's a very touching event for the men and women at American Electric Power.
In terms of coal supply and your access to it?
Coal supply, without issue. That particular mine, of course, is not supplying, but there's plenty of coal coming out of Appalachia to take care of all of our requirements, and we feel good about that. I'm sure you saw the story this morning that China is becoming a tremendous importer of coal, and much of that coal will ultimately come from the United States.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your perspective with us.